morning, my name is Marilyn Yeager and I'm here today at the Milroy Cemetery. I want to tell you a little bit about the town of Milroy and the cemetery this morning. First, you might be wondering, how did Milroy come to be established? Well, we know that back in 1822, when Rush County itself was established, there was already a thriving community here. We attribute that to the very rich farmland that surrounds the area and the proximity to the Little Flat Rock River. The town itself was not established, though, until 1830, when Nathan Julian and Nathan Tompkins bought some land and established 100 plots, which they offered for sale. There was a mill operated by Gossett and Miller on the northeast corner here of the Little Flat Rock River, and they established the town to the east of there. Nathan Julian established a store on his lot, and Nathan Tompkins established a tavern. Some people might wonder, how did Milroy come to get its name? And there are two theories on that. One is that Samuel Miller was the Speaker of the Indiana House of Representatives when Rush County was established, and the town was named in honor and tribute to him. The other story is a little bit more of folklore, and it says that a man named Roy operated a mill here, and that the town was really a blend of those two words, hence Milroy. I prefer to believe that Julian Tompkins and Nathan Julian established the name in honor of Samuel Miller. You might also wonder, what kind of town has Milroy been? And it was really a very sufficient little community. There were 5 grocery stores here at one point in time, 2 hardware stores, numerous doctors even at the same time, a dentist, a drugstore, a laundry. They had their own post office, a bank, tavern, hotel. So everything you could need was right here in this little community. And part of the reason why Milroy was successful was that the railroad came through here back in 1881. The first line was called the VGR. That stands for Vernon, Greensburg, Rushville. And that really got this town on the map, much to the demise of other little communities near here, such as Richland or Williamstown. The VGR line was ultimately taken over by what was called the Big Four, that being Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis. But what the rail allowed was for a lot more produce to be shipped in and out of Milroy, and establish a livestock stockyard here so that the citizens and farmers of the Milroy area could send livestock in and out of town. So it really got the town moving, and actually moved the center of town from down here on the riverbank up more eastward to the center of town where it is today. Now, some people might wonder what education was like here also in Milroy, and there's been a long history of schools here in Anderson Township where Milroy is located. The first school that we know of that was actually taught in the town of Milroy was in 1826 to 1827 by Nathan Tompkins, who taught school in his own cabin. Through the years, there were a series of other schools, many of which meant their demise when they burned down, but Milroy was devoted to education and constantly rebuilt and made bigger and better schools. The first high school was established by Principal Hawk, and in 1892, they graduated a 2-year high school class. Several years later, in 1901, they established and graduated the first 4-year high school class. There are a number of individuals buried here in the cemetery that are noteworthy. One of the main ones is our Nathan Tompkins, again, one of the co-founders of the town. He was originally born in Staten Island, New York, and found his way to Cynthiana, Kentucky. He was probably living there when he heard about that land was being opened up here in the Rush County area. He made his way in 1820 to the Brookville Land Office and bought 80 acres of land and moved here to the Milroy area. He established, as we have said previously, the town, had a tavern, the school, had a hotel. He and his wife Mary had 8 children who all went on to offer their services to Milroy and the surrounding communities. One son became a blacksmith and a trustee for the township. Another one became a physician and moved to Columbus, Indiana. So he was quite a contributor to this community. Another noteworthy person is John Wyatt. That is a father-in-law to Nathan Tompkins. John was born in London. He immigrated to this country, and we believe he settled in the Virginia area because he enlisted with the Virginia military during the Continental Army Revolutionary War. He enlisted in 1778 and at one point in time was captured in Charleston, South Carolina and held as a prisoner for 6 months. He re-enlisted again with the Virginia military and served until 1781. He found his way also to Cynthiana, Kentucky, where he married his wife and they had their family. It was probably there that he and Nathan Tompkins crossed paths and ultimately moved here to the Milroy area. A final noteworthy group of people that are buried here are all of the Civil War soldiers. During the Civil War, Milroy really answered the call to service, and there are at least 11 Civil War soldiers buried here at this cemetery. These brothers in blue frequently got together in town and would reminisce and celebrate with each other. The last of those boys in blue passed away in 1929, but certainly the call of duty has been answered well by the town of Milroy with a Revolutionary War veterans, Civil War veterans, veterans of the Spanish-American War, Korean War, World War I, World War II, all buried at this location. So as you can see, the history is deep here in Milroy, Indiana, and we hope that you would come see us sometime. I have a couple thanks I would also like to mention today. One is to the Rush County Community Foundation for their help in funding all of the filming that we are doing with the Rush County Genealogy Society. And finally, to Kevin Haar for the use of his historical photos of the Milroy area. Thank you.